In today's Deputy on Duty, we take you behind the scenes of the Consolidated Dispatch Agency. It is one of the most critical departments within Leon County.
911, what's the address of your emergency?
When you dial 911, the CDA is the hub that connects you to all four emergency agencies: the Tallahassee Police Department, the Leon County Sheriff's Office, the Tallahassee Fire Department, and the Leon County EMS. The dispatchers have to perform the first line of triage in emergency situations each and every time they answer an emergency call.
It's really hard sometimes for us to get the information we're needing, which is the pertinent information that the officers are asking us to get, or the deputies.
Sometimes you get a call, you hear screaming in the background, and you're like, hello? Hello? And it disconnects, and you're like, okay, well, something's happening. So you try to get the location.
The dispatchers must identify the most imminent threat and get accurate information from a caller as quickly as possible, and that includes your location.
This is policy. We have to ask you these questions. We have a way to structure that to where when it's delivered to those officers or those EMTs or those firemen or those deputies, they know exactly what they're coming for.
And what you don't know is that units may already be on the way to your location. The dispatchers save first responders precious time at the scene by asking all of those questions before they get there.
We do understand that what you have going on is a dire emergency, and we're here to help you.
But when the dispatchers hang up, specific calls can haunt them for years, and most of the time it's those calls involving children.
It was of a child that was having a hard time breathing and was choking on something. And so I had to sit there, and I was like, I had a child at the time. And I'm like, what if this was my child? So you have to sit there and try to get those thoughts out of your head at the same time, and just, I gotta focus on this caller.
And sometimes, because dispatchers do feel a connection with the person in trouble, they never get closure because they don't always know what happens following the incident.
There's one call that I took with a 2-year-old that had been dropped off at a fire station. He was no longer wanted or could be taken care of by his family. And out of all my years of doing this, I've never let anything personally impact me in that way, but I actually went as far as to try to adopt that child because his story was personal. I'm not gonna talk about it because I'll cry, but his story was, it was personal for me.
And it's that type of compassion and dedication that keeps these dispatchers motivated. They know they're making a difference in the lives of Leon County residents.
But in the end, it is all worth it because you're saving somebody's life. Like, everybody cannot do that. And to be able to do that from a position where I don't have to physically be there, they need to know that you're like a hero when you come here.
And that's why the men and women of the Consolidated Dispatch Agency is the focus of this week's Deputy on Duty. I'm Angela Green for Leon County Today.